time I close my eyes.
Yes, guys, welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us again. Guys, this is our cup final preview, Liverpool versus Chelsea this Sunday afternoon. And obviously, join me, I've got my two Liverpool buddies, Ben and K-Mac. How you doing, lads?
Well, good, mate. Thank you very much.
All good, all good. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And obviously, we've got to get the rivals in as well. Before I introduce these two, I just want to say one thing, right? Big up Pimp in Distress for one of the people in my comments. He actually, for a joke, he tagged Astrid Wet to come onto the channel. Yeah, she actually got back to me.
Oh my word!
She actually wanted to come on, but I said,
God.
no, I've got better OnlyFans models on the show, and that brings me to Winter Soldier. Big up, man! Thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it.
No problem. I don't know how to do. I don't know what to say after that. Might as well.
I thought you were going to take your shirt off then.
No one wants that.
Listen, trust me, I've tried. You have to pay for that content. I've tried.
And Brian, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, man. Hope you're doing well, fella.
I'm good. I hope you guys are all doing well as well. Yeah, not looking forward to this game, but looking forward to seeing you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, look, the cup final. Look, cup finals are always a nervy occasions. No matter, I think, how good form a team is in or a bad form a team is in, it's always a nervy occasion. Look, starting off, let's start off with Chelsea because you guys are visitors to the channel. It's only right. So, Winter Soldier, Chelsea season this far. Is this what you expected from Chelsea so far this season? Or did you expect different, like an improvement from last season? Because, you know, me, myself, I thought you'd improve this season. You know, I didn't think you'd be right up there because it takes time for what your club's apparently doing. But do you feel like you should have definitely improved and you've taken, it's like you're almost stagnant at the moment. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, most certainly. I did expect an improvement in a league position, definitely. I did want a cup run, so I've got that to get to a cup final. So I've got that partly. But yeah, most definitely. I think if you're talking to sensible fans, I said I'd be happy with 6 this season because I didn't. Looking at the squad, we didn't buy a what I call a recognised striker and a recognised goalkeeper. I think the 2 most important positions on the pitch. Now, the goalkeeper, we may have stumbled onto Petrovic due to a Sanchez injury. The striker's obviously well under question mark for that. But overall, yeah, I did expect more. I think that's why I think I'm more disappointed in Poch than any of the previous managers in charge because I expected more of him. But yeah, most definitely. I often say this, I don't think you'd hear Chelsea fans complain a lot if we were currently sat in 7th instead of 10th. I think it's just all about 10th. We just cannot shake 10th. That's what it is. Whatever we do, we cannot shake 10th. And unlike United, we don't have the shithousery to get the results when we don't play well. If we don't play well, really well, and have 1 or 2 shots, we don't win or draw. Whereas United can somehow just play the worst football you've ever seen and come out with like 4 straight wins that we've just seen right now. And it's just, and I don't know how to. Just overall, just disappointed league-wise. Obviously, yeah, you'd have to be.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Prime. I mean, like Winter Soldier was just saying there, like there is like as you're saying, United are terrible as well, like awful, but they're putting these winning runs together that push them now for Champions League football. And you look at both squads between Chelsea and United. I don't think there's a lot in it at all, really. What do you reckon the reason is? Do you reckon someone like Nkunku's been a massive miss for you this season? Because you see when he plays, there's a different quality about him. Is it Poch's tactics? Because I know you've got a certain left back. He keeps playing left wing for some reason sometimes, which I don't get. What do you think it is, man?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about injuries, but and a lot of teams this season have had to face like a major injury crisis at some point. I think Liverpool are going through theirs now. United had theirs for a chunk of the season as well. So I don't think it's Newcastle had. I think they're still going through theirs. I don't think it's fair for us to use that as an excuse. I understand Nkunku being a big miss because he's a top talent. He's a top player. And I would understand using that excuse if we were 4th or if we were 5th, 6th, trying to push into top 4. I would understand Nkunku being used as an excuse, but we're 10th. That's not the reason. Him being gone is not why we are this bad. Players being played out of position, I don't necessarily mind if a player per se is out of position, depending on their attributes and how they're being coached. We've seen it. Klopp turned Firmino into this false 9 when originally he was a 10. We've seen managers do this, but it's got to suit their attributes and they've got to be coached properly. Poch for the majority of the season hasn't really done that. There's been no real consistency in terms of lineups and our approaching games, which is why it's been very hard for me to give him too much praise when we do have a great performance. When we beat, I think we beat Villa 3-0 in the replay. We battered Middlesbrough, was it 5-1, 4-1, or 5-2 on aggregate, I should say. For example, the game against City, the draw, it's hard to give him all the praise when in the next games that follow, against lesser opposition, we then just fall apart. There's no real consistency. And even though right now, I think we're 6 points away from 6th place or from 7th place. So top 6, top 4 in theory is achievable. I don't trust Poch to get things right and go on a run. These players have shown, yes, in spurts, but these players have shown that if you put a system together, that they are good enough. We shouldn't be, I'm not saying title challenge or top 4, but we shouldn't be where we are. At the start of the season, I think I had the lowest expectation out of a lot of the Chelsea fans I've spoken to. I said that we would challenge and push for top 4, but the inexperience in the squad would show and we would drop out of it and finish between 6th to 8th. I thought that was realistic for the first season, considering the fact of Chelsea fans. We all agreed we didn't have a goalkeeper. We all agreed that we didn't have a striker, and I assumed that those would be massive holes. Andrew's right. We seem to have stumbled upon Petrovic. Jackson, I don't think he has been, even though he may not be striker and good enough to be our number one, he hasn't been as bad as everyone has made out to seem. He cost 30 mil. He scored like 7 or 8 goals in the league. Højlund has only now reached 7 goals, and he cost more than double that. So Jackson can't be that bad. But I look at everything else. Sorry?
I was about to say, no, I don't actually mind Jackson. When I watch him play, he looks more of a winger to me than an out forward. He's got that pace and athleticism. Usually playing
I
out
just
wide.
look at it and I just think and I keep saying this, I look at the teams above us. I look at Villa. You mentioned Man United, Spurs. Man for man, and I know football's not played on paper. I know that, but just look at squads and we compare it. They don't have better squads than us. Villa does not have a better midfield than we do. Look at Man United's team. I've spoken to Man United fans. They would take our team if you're speaking honestly. I look at Spurs. Is their team outright better than ours? No. But what do they have? Fine, you can talk about how poor Ten Hag's been this season, but they've been able to go on runs and they're still above us. You look at Spurs, they've got a better coach who's getting the best out of what they have. These guys went through an injury crisis. No Van de Ven, no Romero, having to play Emerson and Dyer, fullbacks at centre back. And even though they went on a 5-game loss, they still managed to get results. I look at Aston Villa. Before Emmy went there 18 months ago, no one rated their squad. If I said Liverpool should buy Ollie Watkins or Douglas Luiz, you would have laughed. Now all of a sudden people are saying that they're top players. That's what coaching does. Coaching, I say this, coaching raises the level. Coaching can take a top 4 squad into title contenders. Coaching can take a relegation squad to, saving you from relegation, maybe pushing you into the table. Coaching matters so much. And our lack of coaching shown. This squad should be, I think, minimum 8th. And it's showing where we are, where we've been 10th basically the whole season. And even when we go on mini runs, win 3 or 4 on the bounce, because we've been so bad, those 4 or 5 games don't mean anything because we're still where we are. We don't take advantage when Man United have lost points.
Yeah.
We don't take advantage of anything. And that's why I don't trust us to go on a run to potentially get Europe, because that would mean we will need to keep winning games while everyone else is losing. And we don't do that. And it's so frustrating because I don't mind what rivals say. They can defend Poch if they want. You're supposed to. But when Chelsea fans are saying we should continue to trust them because it's meant to be a process, how can I trust a process if there's no steps? Liverpool fans, until you guys won the Champions League, you guys trusted Poch or trusted Klopp because you saw steps. Even though you lost the title race and you lost the Champions League final and rivals laughed, but you guys saw the steps where you were going up. There's been no elevation. There's been no steps. And even though we're in this final, I've got no belief that we'll execute a game plan to beat you guys. I think you guys can be beaten, and I trust the players to execute a game plan if he sets out one, but I don't trust him to.
Fair. Ben, like from a Liverpool point of view, where do you see Chelsea right now, and also where do you see their threat against us on Sunday?
Chelsea right now, obviously this is nothing against these two fellas. I've not really spoken to these two. I've not interacted with them, but to be honest, it's kind of funny because, like, if we cast our minds back to the transfer window, there was that big, and I mean big Chelsea fan page. I'm not sure, is it Pies? CFC Pies or something? PYS. Just constantly every single day saying how they own us because they beat us to San Lavia and Caicedo, and you know, I was invested in both those players. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I wasn't. Lavia more so because I think Caicedo was just a bit of a pipe dream. But Lavia is somebody that I think we knew we were looking at, like when the season was still going on. Really good player for Southampton. I'm not going to sit here and say he's crap because he went to Chelsea. I really was on board with Lavia. I really wanted to sign him. And obviously that night when Ornstein comes out and says we have a fee agreed with Caicedo, £100 million, you know, as Liverpool fans, that's just like, what the hell's happening? We're not used to that. We're used to 50 million, 55 if we're lucky, 60. But obviously Caicedo didn't want to come for whatever reason. They said the project. We all know why he didn't come. But from then, obviously, we went to Chelsea, first game of the season. I was at the game, and yeah, I came away from that game thinking we should have won. We should have done a lot more. We weren't good. What's it going to be like this season? There's still loads of questions in my head. And then I think the general consensus from the Chelsea fans was that they were going to go on to be better than us this season from that point. And even the captain, Reece James, tweeted "New era loading," which is a tweet that I think a lot of us always go back to when Chelsea lose. But look, they're in the final. They're there. You know, finals, doesn't matter how you've been in the season. That goes out the window for me. And if you ask me, Jamie, am I confident with the squad if everybody was available? 100%. 2-3-0, I'm saying. Easy. You know, that's what we should be thinking because we're that good and we've got a great squad. But now you can make an injured 11 better than our actual 11. It flips it completely. And I don't think Chelsea, when you actually sit down and watch them, have been as bad as people make out. Yes, they've not been getting the results. Yes, they've not been scoring enough goals, but they can definitely still target us. They can definitely still hurt us. They've still got players that can be dangerous if we're not 100%. And it is more so of me looking at our team and thinking, is that team going to get it over the line in a final than me being worried of Chelsea, if that makes sense? You know, these guys have been incredible. They've all stood in. They've done their jobs. The result against Luton after going a goal down was a brilliant comeback for sure. But this is a final. This is Wembley. A lot of these players never been there before. We have obviously a few that have. You know, we won the Cup double a couple of seasons back. But yeah, this is a new experience. But I'd be lying if, you know, I'm not going to say I'm not confident in these boys. They're giving me no reason to doubt them so far this season. But like I said, mate, everything goes out the window. It's Liverpool, Chelsea in a final. We all know it's going to penalties. Let's just cut to the chase and decide the order of the penalty takers, and that would probably be for the best. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, some of these guys like Ryan Gravenberch probably going to have to start. Conor Bradley's going to start in his first ever final for Liverpool, which is exciting. So there's a lot of players that have, you know, a lot to prove in these big games and to show why they're here at this club. And I think that's exciting as well as it's nervy because they've not done it and you want the experience on the pitch. At the same time, I'm quite excited because these are the games that these players would have signed a contract to play in. So yeah, I'm excited, mate.
Yeah, man, same. K-Mac, following on just from Ben there as well, your opinions, and you know, I think Chelsea, their threat to Liverpool this Sunday. What's your take, man? Oh, you're mute, K-Mac.
Sorry. The first person on the panel. If you need the ultimate shithouse, then Man United have got him in Casemiro. And that's the reason why they're winning games, because he's back in the team. Ultimate shithouse bloke. I think the last time we played Poch was when he was at Spurs in the Champions League final, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In a final, yeah.
I think Poch has been a little bit out of touch when he went to PSG. I don't think he really coaches players that much now. I feel like Chelsea have just got a bunch of lads, like really talented lads, but there's not really any kind of rudder, like any real direction. They're just thrown into a team, and it's like who can perform the best on the day, and you've got some guys that can do that. I mean, Jackson scored most of his goals in one game, didn't he? Really, this season. And your other guy that you got from Man City, he scores a lot of penalties. As a cohesion of a team, we are the epicenter of that in the Premier League. Like every single man on his day, different positions when it's needed. You know, injuries all over the shop. You know, we'll get it done. I think it'll be 3-1 if I'm honest, because every game we play is 3-1 at the moment. I just feel like a couple of players that we've got coming back are going to make a real difference. I don't know about Chelsea's team, but I do know Poch does make some wacky decisions with playing players. He seems to keep on playing Reece James and breaking him every single game. Is he going to play? Is he going to play Thiago? Is he back? I don't know. Like Thiago Silva, I don't know. Like if you Adi Sheely and God help you, I don't know. But the first game of the season, I did feel like Poch was maybe going to do something good and kind of maybe break into the top four, because it just felt like, oh, Jackson and Kunku, that's tasty. But it just didn't turn out like that. But it's going to be a good spectacle. Just depends whether we get Bolsai, Salah, and Nunes back.
Yeah, that's fair. So look, when Soldier, I watched the Chelsea Man City game from a Liverpool perspective, because it's always nice seeing City drop points. But watching that game, when
Chelsea
I
should have won, by the way. Chelsea should have won that game.
Chelsea were
chances.
a big threat. They were a big threat against Man City in that game, and the way you played it was sort of more like counter-attacking football. You left Sterling and Jackson in them wide, high areas, sort of like cheating almost. Stay up, don't worry about dropping back too much. Use your pace on that counter-attack, and you threatened Man City quite a lot of that game. In reality, you probably should have won that match. We're better finishing up top.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's the way Poch is going to set up in this final? Maybe thinking Liverpool have more of the possession of the ball, but Liverpool can be caught vulnerably at the back. Do you reckon that's the way he's going to go at it?
Well, if he sets up like he did away to Anfield, then that would be a big mistake, because we saw it away at Anfield, the way he split our midfield so far apart. You could drive a whole fleet of tanks through it, and it allowed your centre backs to be like a further 10 yards up. So the high line really didn't affect you. It's also because I've been hearing a lot of Liverpool fans this week actually saying that they would do the opposite of Man City and try and give us the ball, because that's they think that if we have more of the ball, it'd be weaker for us. I'd hope he has it in his mind that he tries and does the same that he did with Man City. Whether, I don't know if Liverpool will take the bait or not. We might see a game where it will go down to penalties because no one wants the ball. As both sides would prefer the other side to have the ball a bit more and counter attack. But obviously, depending on what Liverpool's lineup will be. So I hope he goes for those same tactics. I hope he goes for the same team near enough. I wouldn't play Thiago Silva. I think he slows down our play even when we got the ball. And the only other thing would be for me, who does he stick with the same front three as City, the interacting and stuff like that, and let Gallagher basically off the leash and just let him pick up his usual mileage that he picks up during the game and everyone praises him for. But yeah, hopefully he does that. But like I said, Liverpool is a different prospect to Man City. You can't compare them. It's like that. They're just totally different the way they play. And also, I think even you guys, I don't know if anyone's going to get, from a Liverpool point of view, the starting lineup right. I don't know what your starting lineup is going to be in terms of who's available. You've got everyone forgets we got the FA Cup midweek as well coming up as well. So it's like it's so hard to predict. Poch is probably going to be second guessing himself, and like you just said, Poch. We've seen Poch previously in some high profile games. He will throw a spanner in his own team that no one's ever seen before. Like he'll play someone that he played Son at left wing back once against us in the semi-final FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? It was just something that will throw up. I mean, but like the original question, I hope he looks at that and tries to play that way. Whether you guys will let us play that way, that's the different thing. City, I think, would allow most teams to play that way. It's just that I really don't know why people don't do this. They don't isolate Rodri more. If we committed more to isolating Rodri after the 60th minute mark last week, I think we would have hung on and won. But Poch went from about 70 minutes onwards. He pulled us backwards, and we allowed more and more pressure, which is why they ended up equalising in the end. But I just, like I said, it's totally different between Liverpool and Man City. So.
Yeah, like totally different way of playing, but almost like Prime. You played Man City twice this season, and you've drawn against them in both games, 4-4. Was it the 1-1 previously?
Yeah.
And Chelsea had a particular way of playing against Man City, trying to get behind them, use their width, use their pace, and cause them a lot of trouble in both games. And Fury should have won both games probably. Against Liverpool, especially in the game recent when we won 3-1, you played completely differently. Like he completely opened up. Poch opened Chelsea up against Liverpool. Opening a team up against Liverpool is like the worst thing you can possibly do. Just because of the pace of Liverpool and the forwards that Liverpool have got, they go score goals if you do that. So are you in the same kind of thing as with the servers that try and play like you have done against City, playing that counter attack? Because Liverpool, we do give chances. Like all us Liverpool fans admit, the way we play on the edge. So we can give a chance up. It's just the chaotic nature of the way Liverpool play. So do you think you should be looking the way you played against City instead of the way you played against us recently?
Well, the first game we played against City, the 4-4, we were quite on front foot for most of it, and like trying to match them in terms of like energy and intensity. And it was the second game where we sat back and we were more counter attacking. That Liverpool game, that 3-1, 4-1.
Yeah, 3-1, 3-1.
3-1. That game showed us everything that's been wrong with Chelsea this season that we have not got punished for in the big game. Caicedo being isolated by himself in midfield, playing a high line against pacey attackers. Thiago Silva dwelling on the ball, and we got punished for it. Rightfully so. I just hope that whatever game plan that he has, he sticks to it. Because the good games we have had, when we played Arsenal, the 2-2 draw, we were comfortable for about 70 minutes, and he made subs, and we threw the game away. Now, we can partly put that down, I guess, to players. Sanchez giving the ball for the first goal for Rice and stuff, but he made subs, and we lost control of the game. When the 1-1 draw against City, comfortable for 70, 75 minutes, made wrong substitutions, and we threw the game away. I don't want that to happen again, where we're comfortable against you guys for 70, 80 minutes, and he makes the wrong substitutions or tweaks things tactically, and then we throw it away. Because we know with Liverpool, regardless of your injuries, we know how good you guys are in front of goal, and you don't need that many chances to break away and score. And if that game then rolls into extra time, I don't know what Poch can do. I don't trust him. So yeah, I don't know. I just hope, as much as we have to be on our game, we need to pray that Liverpool are off their game, because that's what helped us in the 1-1 draw against City. They were very poor. And also the 4-4 as well. I thought they had quite a poor game as well. So we need to hope you guys are off your game and your injuries affect you guys in the negative. And we're on it, and we can take advantage and see the game out. And we need to score more than one goal. If we can get 2 or maybe 3, like that, we can be a bit more comfortable that way. If we do throw it away late on, at least we've got a bit of a lead to protect and cling on to. But yeah, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. Ben, so we heard from Pep Linders today, who we know does the press conferences of the League Cup. Even the final, which shocks me a little bit, but it is what it is. I actually like the way he speaks in press conferences, by the way. He mentioned obviously the injuries.
Gives loads away, doesn't he?
I like Pep Linders, I ain't gonna lie. So Darwin Núñez and Mo Salah is what every Liverpool fan is hoping to see this weekend, obviously, because a good day off for us. And I got a feeling, I don't know about you, Ben, I actually got a feeling one of them will play and one of them won't, but I just don't know what one. I do think one will feature, and Klopp will. One of them won't travel, and they'll be saved for the game the following weekend. What's your feelings on it? Because look, the front three are Gakpo, Harvey Elliott, and Diaz did well against Luton.
Mhm.
And, 2 of them 3 played against Brentford as well. And, came on and did well as well. So what do you recommend? Do you reckon we're going to see one of the 2, or Klopp just going to leave them out completely, or is it touch and go?
I've got a feeling they'll both be there. I don't know what capacity, but I've just got a sneaky feeling they'll both be there. Don't know if either of them will start or maybe one of them will start, but I got the feeling because I seen today there was a little clip that Liverpool put out and a picture. Darwin was in like his full training gear, so it looks like he's been doing some sort of training. But from what, and again, this is taken with a pinch of salt. From what we saw from the Salah content, he was just in the gym. So I don't know if that means Salah didn't train or what. But yeah, I think Darwin Núñez. My theory on this was, in the game before when everyone was getting in. What game was it again when we lost everyone? Brentford, wasn't it? Yeah, when everyone went down. Everyone was getting injured in the first half. Jota, Jones, and Darwin. He's known to injuries. He gets them little injuries each season that keeps him out for 2 or 3 games. And I've just got a sneaky feeling that it was just to protect him, if anything. We were winning the game. Well, we easily win that game at home. Luton Town should be a win at home. We should be able to manage without a couple of our star players against those teams. So my theory, and this isn't based on anything else other than my thinking, that we're just protecting him a bit. We're managing the workload. Whilst Jota's out for pretty much the majority of the remaining games. Obviously we've got other injuries as well. Curtis Jones, I know, is midfielder, but we've got so many injuries right now. The last thing we need is to go down to the bare bones up front. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that they'll both be okay. If that front 3 does start the game, I wouldn't be mad at it. Obviously, you would think against Chelsea where the goal is going to come from, because, like I said, Luton Town at home, it's a given. I'd expect anyone to be able to score in that game in the team. But Chelsea's a different kettle of fish at Wembley in a final. And the one thing I would say is if the game did stretch open, the amount of space that's on that pitch, that would be screaming for Darwin Núñez to just run the channels all game long. Just don't stop. Just keep going up and down, spread them out wide, do whatever you need to do. I know it's cliche, but cause chaos, right? And for me, without him, it's a huge miss. And Liverpool fans, some Liverpool fans are still questioning whether he's good enough, or whether Xabi Alonso or whoever the new manager is will use him or whatever. As long as Darwin Núñez is available right now, he starts for me. He's one of the first players on the sheet. He's so good at what he does. He's so important to us. And I don't think we attack the same without him. Mo Salah obviously speaks for himself. He's, the best forward I've seen at the club, most consistent forward I've seen at the club. And whenever he's not playing, it's a big miss. But what we did do when Salah was away with Egypt, and when he got the little injury, is all the other forwards up the game. But 2 of them might be out now, Jota and Núñez. They were 2 of the main ones that, carried that attack while Salah was away. So, yeah, obviously if Salah and Núñez aren't there, it dampens our chances significantly. I'm not going to deny that. But, I've still got faith in Diaz, Gakpo and Harvey that, we'll be okay. And at least for 60 minutes. And then if we can get Salah and Núñez on, they'll be there to finish the game.
Yeah, I'm thinking that came out. What are you thinking? Because he also said, I think, did Pep say that Szoboszlai might be, or something like that, might be ready as well. So, what do you think? All 3 on the bench, 1 starting, 2 on the bench. What are we going here?
I don't think Salah will feature because that one's been a bit quiet and they're still not really revealing much about it. It could be recurring of the hamstring. He's not going to, if he's got a recurring hamstring, even if it's just a grade 1, it's still going to be 2 weeks, and it's only been like a week on it. So I'm not sure about that one. I just feel that at the moment, whoever we put up front seems to score. Like the last 4 games, all our strikers have scored, whoever they are. We've got 5 strikers now that are all on 10 plus goals. Diaz has just broke into the 10 barrier now. You've got Gakpo on 11 now. You've got Núñez on 13. You've got Salah on 19. Jota's on 14, but he's going to be out now for a couple of months. So I just feel like they're all firing on all cylinders, all of them. So regardless to who gets played up there, seems to bring the goods. It's the midfield, which is the issue for me. I really do think that Sabulsai is needed. Like those legs on the right hand side are really needed, because you know how I feel about Gravenberch, and I just feel like we do need that in the team. McAllister and Endo, I'm absolutely fine with. Elliott starting from the start in midfield is a bit of a worry. He's not been fantastic from starter games. He was good in the last game, but he was played like as a right winger. So for me, I'm not really that bothered about the strikers. I feel like they'll all kind of get the goals anyway. They seem to be finishing well. But I do think Salah will probably be the one that misses out because of the nature of the injury. And we don't really know we still don't know what Nunes' injury was. No one said a word what it was. He just felt something. Okay.
Yeah, just felt tightness.
Well, like a
somewhere,
sore
didn't
toe.
I'm going to guess it's either calf, hamstring, or groin. And they're the usual three areas. But lads, when Sarah, go to you first. Liverpool could be about Darwin, Jota, and Salah. I mean, if you're a Chelsea fan, that is a big positive to you guys. Because they're three killers up front for us. But for your team, who are you expecting to play? Sterling's been pretty. He was decent against Man City, but I don't think Sterling's been great since he signed for Chelsea, personally. Jackson on the wide areas, I think, looks better than when he's the main point through the middle. So what do you reckon your attacking options are going to be against Liverpool in this Sunday's game?
Well, saying that, I'm hoping he literally starts with the same team against City. I'm hoping he does that. There was a horrible rumor that that was like before the City game, Sanchez was training with us, and I was thinking, why would you drop Petrovic for Sanchez? But it's oh, sorry, I've got someone at the door, so I'll be back.
All right. It's all right. Prime can answer it.
Come
on, Prime.
Yeah. I echo what Surfer was saying about the Sanchez thing. I had a worry that he would drop Petrovic for Sanchez, because Poch has been doing that this season, where like you mentioned at the start about Colwell at left back. Colwell started the season at left back. He got injured, and we saw Cucurella play there at left back, and we saw him play very well. And Colwell came back, and he came back into the lineup at left back. We've seen Poch do that, where he sticks to some very strange and odd decisions, even though we've seen other variations actually seem to pan out. But I think if there was a game to just put Sanchez back in, I would have been City, because that's like about a week before the final. So I don't think it doesn't make sense to throw him in right now. So I hope he doesn't come in. But again, I don't trust Poch, so I wouldn't necessarily be all that surprised if he is put in. Silva, I think, is still out. Or no, he's potentially back, but I don't think Silva will start the final, per se. Although, who knows? He might put him in because of experience. Like, I have a feeling he might put him in because of experience. But I would go with Sassy and Colwell. Gusto at right back. Chilwell at left back. Sado, Enzo in midfield. Our front four, I think, will be interesting, because there is the question mark of, doesn't Cuckoo start? And if he does start, who does he come out for? Some people say Sterling, which I would understand. Sterling has a horrible record against Liverpool, even when he was at City. But it is a final, and he just had a great game before. So does he get dropped for this? Again, Poch schemes about lack of experience. Sterling, he's experienced. In his head, it might make sense to play him. So
that's the criticisms of Poch. We've got 8 days between games, so he shouldn't really need to change anything. I wouldn't change anything. But even Thiago Silva was fit, I wouldn't change it. It worked. It worked against City. Just leave it. Let them gel. Thiago Silva's leaving in the summer, I think, anyway. So there's no point of putting him in stuff like this. Let these guys gel. That's what we've been asking to do.
You would put you would leave Nkuku off the bench then, bring him off the bench.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't put Nkuku on. I mean, I think he's. I don't know with Poch. I don't know I don't think he knows where to play him. In terms of this, he loves to play Gallagher in that new defensive 10 role, you know. And then I don't think Nkuku's good leading the line. Like I wouldn't have him as the number 9 leading the line. So I think it would be pointless, as we saw in the second half when he brought him on against City. He was ineffective because we had no outlet up there. So I would just play. I would literally leave it. I hope people at 10 Poch just leave it. Just play the team that was fine. It did well against City. Okay, it's a different team in Liverpool, but leave it. Unless there's any injuries, you've had 8 days in between games. They've just played there. They're trying to figure out if they're going to rush players back from injury or not. They don't know who's fit and who's not. You're fine. It's actually pretty much settled period this season for Chelsea. We're leading up to a final. Just leave it alone and play it from there. Just leave it and see what happens on the day. That's what I would do. Just leave it alone. Just don't do a Pochism and play like play Palmer at left wing back or something like you would do.
So you're saying Sanchez, Cucurella, Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Madueke, they're all coming in.
You'd laugh. We'll find out that he's brought Sanchez back for the final. We go, why?
This is the thing.
Lavia's coming in as well.
Remember the second leg against Middlesbrough, and I was saying when the lineups came out, said on Lewis's stream that there's no Gallagher in here, that he overthought this game. Remember I said that?
No. But for me, it's very simple. Do not change anything. Just leave it alone.
No, I agree with you, but I don't trust. He will do something. He will overthink this, and he will do something. He'll do something like weird. He'll put Nkuku in. He'll throw in Nkuku and like take out Sterling or Jackson or something. He will. Yeah, I don't trust him. I've got zero faith in him.
There's no point. For him, there's no point guessing what the Liverpool team's going to be because none of us know. Not even the fans really know what because we don't know who's going to be available to injury. There's no point second guessing what Liverpool's team is going to be at this moment. You can try and go, if Salah plays, but if Salah does start, how long is he going to last? Because we're talking 2 games in. There'll be a second game in like a month or something.
Sure.
Injury. Yeah. How long is he going to last? Like you said, no one's reported what the Darwin Núñez injury is. I have no idea I've never seen what the injury is.
I didn't even know who was injured.
That's what I mean. So, and then that's what I mean. So just leave it like it is. Then unfortunately, try and make those changes during the game, which I don't know if he can do. But just leave it from there.
I didn't say I agree with you. I'm saying I know he's gonna do something. He's gonna put in Nkuku or something, or he'll put in Thiago Silva.
He won't do the Nkuku. He might do the Thiago Silva, you're right, but I don't think he put Nkuku in from the start.
Let me ask you a question, right? It is the kryptonite question to Chelsea fans, I always feel. Conor Gallagher. Because when I watch him, it's a neutral, hasn't got a fight in this. When I watch him, I always think like he looks like Pochettino's main midfielder in that Chelsea team. Like he's the one he looks at. Because you've got Enzo Fernandez and Casado in there, and for whatever reason it is at the moment, it's not working like I think everyone thought it would work. But Conor Gallagher, when he's in there, he seems to be the one Pochettino trusts, the one he looks to. He looks like he's, what? He's almost like Jordan Henderson for Liverpool in a way. That's what Conor Gallagher is to Chelsea. And he's sort of one of them unsung heroes, but he's not the fan favourite in the fan base, if that makes sense. Don't know how you guys feel about it.
No, that's understandable. My thing with Conor Gallagher is I think you have to simplify his instructions so he can have a good game. Because I think if you overload him overload him and he starts to think, then you're going to get inconsistencies. Saturday, Man City's game is a perfect game for Conor Gallagher. Run everywhere and disrupt. That's all he has to do.
Yeah.
Just run everywhere and disrupt. That's what he's best at. If you then tell him, or then give him further instructions, like you got to drop a bit deeper, you got to start playing the ball out. Not his game whatsoever. He's a very simple player. Very simple player. Just do that, and you probably get no complaints from most Chelsea fans. But then when you but you are right. He does pick him all the time. He is his man on the pitch. He made him captain. You know what I mean? So you make someone a captain when you come in. You are effectively saying to everyone that's your guy on the pitch, no matter what. And he picks him no matter what. Now, he has for me, he's had an up and down season. I often think with rival fans, you think Conor Gallagher's good, but if you put him in your team, you would understand what we're talking about. If you understand, do you know what I mean? You would go.
Do you know the weird thing is though?
Yeah.
I actually think he might work in a Klopp midfield
I think he
in a
would.
way.
No.
Yeah,
We
I
were linked
agree.
to him in the summer. We were linked massively. with
I
him.
think he would, and I understand why Postecoglou wants him at Spurs as well. And
Yeah.
I think he's a great squad player. I think if we had all our guys fit, and that I'd bring him on like the last 15 minutes of every game just to run around and disrupt the people trying. If we were like 1 or 2 up, disrupt the opposition team trying to get back into the game. I think he's that type of player. But like you can use him from the start, as we said in both Man City games. I think he was great in both Man City games. I think he was absolutely great. I think he terrorized Rodri in both games. He made Rodri look very, very simple in terms of how he was playing. We just dropped off as a team, allowed Rodri into the game. Against your guys, you're not really going to play like that. So I don't know how essential he will be. I mean, last few games he's actually popped up with a couple of GNA, so that's good. But if he's not going to do that, then because the Palace game will fool you. He scored 2 goals, but other parts of his game were non-existent at all. But he done the 2 most important things on the pitch. He scored goals. So he's one of those. He's one of those where he's a very polarizing. I think he's more. Can I argue? I think he's more polarizing in Chelsea fan base than Mason Mount.
Wow.
And Mason Mount was a polarizing player. I think he is more polarizing. I really do, because I can see some qualities of Mount. They might not be as best as what other people think, and that's fine. But Gallagher is more polarizing this season than I think Mount has ever been. But he's good. But ish.
More polarizing. Yes and no, but I do agree that he would do well, like in at Liverpool under Klopp or under Ange. Thing with Gallagher, I've always said, like, at his best, he can be an effective squad player for a title-winning team. If you kind of like with Henderson, you give him like tactical instructions, he will go and see it out. He's that sort of a player. But when you've built your team or you built your midfield around him, like when rival fans and Chelsea fans are saying, he's our best midfielder and he's one of our best players, that shouldn't be happening. Gallagher shouldn't be one of your best players. Henderson shouldn't be one of your best players. Mount shouldn't be one of your best players. That either tells me that your other players around them, your other midfielders, your other players in general aren't playing to the level, or your system's wrong. And you can say it's a bit of both, to be fair, at Chelsea, but it's majorly the system. We shouldn't be building around Gallagher, because back in the summer, that wasn't the plan. The plan was to build around Nkunku. So now Nkunku's out. Gallagher is the holy grace and saving grail. No, I don't agree with that. But if he can stay disciplined in this game, and Trent still out, right? He's not fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trent
He's
went
out
back
till
to
after the
internationals.
internationals.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say, if he can do what he did against City and say focus on Trent or focus on Szoboszlai and just try and like press him, nip at him, that might work. But yeah, I just listen. The guy's a Chelsea fan. He really wants to play for Chelsea. I hope he can kind of use that in this game. It's a final, do what legends before you have done and actually turn up and put in the big performance. Because as much as I get onto the guy a lot and I want him gone, I do kind of feel for him in a way. So
Did you know? I get this. I ask Liverpool boys this now. Like, we go talk about our team now and who will play because I know came at you talking a minute ago about Gravenberch as well. And Ben, I'll say this year. I got a feeling if one of the forwards out of Darwin and Salah say does come back and starts this game, I got a feeling Harvey might play instead of Gravenberch in midfield in this game because we have got to make sure we keep players fit and available now. You know, because the squad is dwindling. I'd love us to go strong, like we all would. But we got to be careful, let's face it. The Premier League is the priority. Cups matter as well, so you've got to do your best to win a cup. But I do think Premier League is the main priority for Jürgen Klopp till the end of the season now. So, what do you reckon? Because Harvey's an interesting one because a bit like Conor Gallagher in a way, you know, I think Harvey's a very good player for us, but a lot of our fan base don't rate him for whatever reason it is. But you know, we saw from Harvey against Luton his 100th appearance, 100 appearances for Liverpool at 20 years of age. Takes some doing, by the way. Should be congratulated. And he's played all that time under Jürgen Klopp. So if Jürgen Klopp thinks he's a player, you know, and gave him 100 appearances at the club, it's something. Got his goal.
Liverpool fans loved Elliot. I remember when he a few years
it depends. There's a lot of Liverpool fans that just for some reason, we every year there's a different player as an agenda, ain't there, guys? You know,
every single
last season it was Curtis Jones, even though when he started to play well, that agenda changed, and then it's Harvey Elliott this season. There'll be another player.
I remember Elliott broke through a few years ago. I think, was it when we played you guys' first game of the season? I think a few years ago, and I think he played in that game. I remember Liverpool fans.
It was the season when we were on for the quad. It was the start of that season.
Liverpool fans loved because I remember particularly Ram speaking highly about him, and Liverpool fans were loving him. So what's happened?
Liverpool fans.
But what's happened since then? That's only 3 years, right? What's happened since then?
It just depends who you talk to, mate. It just depends who you talk to because some people obviously think his best position is midfield. Some will think he's on the wing. Some people just aren't happy with anything, mate. To be honest, like some just you even question.
I like him. I do like him. I like him.
Some people that you see on Twitter, they're never happy with anyone. And like Jamie just said, there's always got to be someone that's not good enough or that's the reason for this happening or that happening. I love the kid. I honestly do. I think he's been since he's come in. I've seen that star quality that he's got, and to say he's not even 21 yet, and like Jamie said, he's got 100 appearances for the club now. Every time he plays, and I know this isn't the be all and end all, but every time he plays, he just works his socks off for the whole time. And he didn't have a great half against Luton the other night, but the second half he was outstanding. And you know, he scores a brilliant goal. On another day, he gets an assist to Diaz as well. He's got these little qualities that will just make him a great player. And like I said, he's not even 21 yet. I probably do think he's better suited to the wing, to be honest. I do. I think give him more of a free role in the attack rather than, you know, asking him to work back and forth, because I don't think that's his game. I don't think it's ever really been his game. Remember when he went to Fulham on loan as well, he was literally just a right winger getting goals and assists every week. Obviously, the only thing to that is he's got Mo Salah playing that position, so he's not going to be able to play there. If he starts on Sunday, it will be right wing, because I think it's going to be unchanged from the Luton game. That's the lineup I think it's going to be. I don't think he's going to be in midfield. I think he's going to be on the right, and I think he's going to have that same midfield behind him. So I back the lad. I always have done ever since he's come into the club. And like you said, when he came through, he was like, this is the thing with Liverpool fans that I don't get. He was the next best thing. There was Mario Götze and Jürgen Klopp comparisons made. You know what I mean? Like people, he's Klopp's new Götze. He gets an injury. He might have slowed down a little bit, and all of a sudden he's not good enough. And it's just like, it just depends who you ask, mate. Like some people like me love him. Some people won't.
Yeah, I've got time for Harvey. I really have. Harvey's one of us. He's a fan. You know, you can't not love that. Jerry, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Apologies, just come back from a hearing of the FA. So yeah, been
Here in the FA.
Yeah. Long
Jerry's
story,
been
but
naughty.
yeah.
Jerry's been naughty. Jerry, so Liverpool, Chelsea. I'll just get your views quickly before I go K-Mac as well. Where do you see the game won for Liverpool? First of all, being a Liverpool fan, and also with Chelsea, where do you see the issues that lie for Liverpool with this Chelsea team?
Ironically, I see both teams. I think the game's going to be won not necessarily in an area of the pitch, but in what team can attack and defend better in transition. So you look at Liverpool. Liverpool are great when we don't have the ball, and that's what makes us really, really dangerous. We can go back to front very, very, very quickly. Now, if Chelsea try to go and dominate the ball and get on the ball, I actually think Liverpool become more dangerous, because it means any little mistake, any misplaced pass from Enzo, any misplaced pass from Gallagher is ate up by Liverpool. No matter who's on the pitch, we're going to get outside of your box in it could be in 5 seconds, and then it's just about whether Liverpool can finish their dinner. And not history, but recent history and recent results will tell you that they can. Ironically, Chelsea also proved, and I think Pochettino, the way he set up his team against Man City, showed that they can actually play through that press. So if we go and try to press them and we're not in unison in terms of number one, number two, number three are all following up and making sure that we can win the ball back. And even if you beat the first press, the second press is right up behind it, like it was in the fixture at Anfield when we beat them 4-1. Then they have got the quality to go 1-2 into Jackson, 1-2's around it, and then they can target our flanks, which obviously we will step up high. And the sides, either side of Konate and Van Dijk, are where they're going to go and try and get round. And if they can get in behind us, especially at Wembley, that's a massive, massive pitch. I think that's where they can go and hurt us. The question is, can Chelsea go and finish? Because Chelsea created a lot of chances. Could have scored 2-3 goals against City, but they ended up with 1 goal. And do you know what I mean? And that's where the kind of the critique, and probably Chelsea fans will tell you, is that they struggle to go and score goals, and they probably struggle to break down teams as well once they sit back, because they do get countered on quite a lot as well. So that will be the interesting part. I think it's going to be such a different game from the 4-1 we saw, purely because, you know, it's a final and it's a one-off game, and we're not as strong as we are. We know that Salah and Núñez are massive doubts. From what I've heard from some sources, is touch and go. If they make it, they will be on the bench. They won't be starting. So that will definitely give Chelsea a lift. And if they can start off quite fast, and if we're not on it, we could potentially see another half like we did against Luton, where we do go a goal down, and Liverpool have. I think if I remember correctly, Liverpool have only we've kept 1 clean sheet in the last 8 games in all comps. Now, Alisson hasn't been out for all those 8 games, but we're conceding a lot of goals. And for me, that's an area of concern, because if we haven't got our Jotas, our Salahs, our Núñez's that have been getting our goals and have scored I think it was like almost half of all Liverpool's goals this season, or close enough, then we're relying on, that's a lot of goals out of the team. I think they've scored 35 of Liverpool's 59 goals. Do you know what I mean? As a strike force, do you know what I mean? The forward line. So taking that out and not being able to go and score when you're goal down against a Chelsea will obviously cause us some problems. But I am confident as a Liverpool fan. I am confident regardless.
Does it not give you hope or a bit more confidence that, even because everyone keeps looking at the City game, and as brilliant as we were defensively, they still had a few chances. Haaland missed 2 sitters in the first half and 1 in the second. And, typically Haaland, even if he is having a poor game, he's not missing every single chance. He's taken at least 1. So does that give you a bit of hope that even if you guys have a poor day, you can still nick a goal and take it into extra time?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. So if we went and had our full strength forward line, I'd be like, Liverpool are definitely going to score. We can probably outscore Chelsea, and that's why I see the positivity. The difference is that you're looking at a front 3 that have probably played for the first time with each other, Gakpo, Diaz and Elliott as a front 3. Elliott has hardly played as a forward player. And in that first half, it did look very, very disjointed. We looked disconnected as a front 3. Now, of course, as the game went on, Anfield, our ability to go and apply pressure. And once we got that first goal, you saw the confidence run through the team. But if we have another disjointed performance in that first half, Chelsea I know you haven't had the best of times as a fan, but you're starting to have a kind of a semblance of what your Pochettino's first team is. You kind of know Cole Palmer's starts every week. You know Sterling's probably going to go and start. You know your midfield's more or less set now. So they're starting to build an understanding now. If you can weather that that storm, and if we're not as clinical as we can be, then that's where the problems are going to occur, because we can get counted on as well, and we've been conceding goals. It might not be 2 or 3 goals, but that one goal in the final that you concede, do you know what I mean? And if Chelsea sit up, and do you know what I mean, sit back after that and try hit us on the counter, and the onus is on us now to go and try get a goal and win a game, that's where the game can get stretched. And look, you've got the pace to hurt us in behind them. With the quality of Cole Palmer, you're always going to cause some problems. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I have.
Okay, Mac. Like, because I know you're not Gravenberch's biggest fan, because we've talked about it so many times, but you know, last couple of games I think he's done okay. I thought the game against Luton in the second half, Liverpool were terrible in the first half, and everyone in that second half performed much better. And I thought his pressing was really good. You know, I think pressing this Chelsea team is really key, getting right into them straight away, because you know it could be one in this midfield battle. You know, we've seen Wataru Endo, who's just I absolutely love. McAllister in his more advanced 8 role, where he's starting to look like the player we thought we were going to buy now. And then Gravenberch's last couple of games pressing in that on that left hand side. You comfortable with that 3? If that is the 3 going into this game?
Nope.
No, I know you say no.
Not with him. Sorry, like do you remember? Do you remember Brendan Rodgers had that team, and you knew that there was players in the team that would let us down. Like you just knew one of those is going to let us down, and they did. I feel like he's that guy. He just doesn't get involved in games, doesn't run, doesn't track back. He does a lot of stuff that I just watch and I go, that's just the standard. Like you should automatically be doing that, and then you can show us how good you are with your flair and your dribbles and your running and you're trying to take on people and stuff. But do the basics. It just doesn't do the basics enough, and that's the worry for me. You know, you're going to let an Enzo Fernandez run past you and put in a 30-yarder, like because he could. So Elliot, I'd start Elliot ahead of him. If I'm honest, you're gonna get someone who runs the whole game. You're gonna get someone who tries his hardest. You're gonna get someone who will track back. Maybe he's not the best at doing it, but he's doing it. And the guy wears his heart on his sleeve. And you know, he had a game on against Luton where he's the only player aged 20 or under who's scored and created 6 chances in a match ever in the Premier League since Opta. Like he's breaking records and providing his own bit of history there. So, you know, we're going to be playing a lot of players that probably haven't played a cup final before. You know, there's a couple of players there that won't have played a cup final. You know, they're going to be giving it 110%. You know, I don't think Endo's played a cup final. I don't think he's played a cup final in his league career. Has McAllister played a cup final? And obviously played the World Cup, but not for Brighton. No, so not for club teams. There's going to be a few in there. You know, Bradley's going to give it everything, isn't he? You know, it's going to be interesting, but I feel like we've got enough players there, and the front 3. I just don't think it matters who it is at the moment. You know, they seem to be getting the job done, and I totally get what you're saying as well, Jerry. Like they haven't played. Like I think they played a Europa League game, those front 3, but I feel like Diaz gets chances, Gapco finishes chances, and whoever's on the right hand side, you know, whether it's Elliot, whether it's Salah, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get 110% from them. So. Yeah, the interesting one is someone's just put in the chat. Dominic Sabolsa is in Malta.
He ain't right.
Twitch.
I can tell you what's happening right now.
Okay, that's nuts.
Dominic
We had a training
Szoboszlai
session today.
Yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai is at home, so he's gambling online. So he's doing gambling Twitch streams, right? And what he's doing, because I know how to do this because I do this myself. He's using a VPN, and so he's broadcasting himself in his VPN from Malta because the gambling rules are different in Malta than they are to the UK. That's all it is. He's like people that he hasn't flown from training to Malta.
Yeah, because I thought he was at training.
You're muted there, Jerry.
You're on mute. I tell
But
you
it
what,
would've
I don't
taken a
want any
couple
of
of
our
hours,
players
why not?
gambling, by the way.
Oh, it's slot gambling. It's card table gambling. It's all right. He's got the money. He can do it.
Gambling? No, ban him for the ban.
So Chelsea boys, like, what team? What's your 11? What's your 11? Your preferred 11 for this game, and where do you think you can win it?
So mine is Petrovic in goal. It's Gusto, Disasi, Colwell, and Chilwell. Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher, and then the front three for me would be Palmer, Jackson, and Sterling. That would be mine. I think if we can win it, if you decide to play like City against us, if you decide to have all of the ball and go higher up, and our midfielders closer together, and you still play that high line, I think that's where we can win it. But for me, that 4-1 game is looking like an aberration. I think Ben was right. I think just don't waste anyone's 120 minutes to go straight to penalty shootout for me. Just sort it out right there and then. But from being honest, I think it will go to extra time, and I think we can nick it 2-1 in extra time. But what befuddles me is that I don't know like you said, I keep going back to this. I have no idea what your starting lineup is going to be. I can't predict it because of your injuries and stuff like that. And you said it, Jamie. You're still in every single competition. So what is Klopp? Is Klopp going to prioritise, or what is he going to sacrifice in this running going forward? Because you're still in a title race. You're still in Europa League. And like I said, both of us got FA Cup games 2 or 3 days after, about 3 days after this cup final as well. So neither one of us really wants extra time or penalties because we've got cup games. Even if we're going to make loads of changes, none of us want extra time with the cup games coming up. And the FA Cup is next round to quarterfinals. So, but going back to this game, yeah, I think if we do that, then we can hit you on a break. So I remember this was a sort of the same sort of build up we had in terms of how Chelsea were feeling in the last 2 cup finals. Like for us anyway, you obviously didn't have the injury crisis you have now, but we were sort of always the underdog, and we sort of surprised ourselves, I think, in those 2 games as well against you. So if we do that, I think we got a puncher's chance. So if we do that, then I'll be happy with that. But like I said, your starting lineup is really befuddling me. So I don't know what you're going to play. So.
Yeah, it's befuddling us at the moment. It's got to be fair. Go on, Prime. What's your 11? Is it the same?
I'm kind of the same because we don't know what Liverpool are going to do because of injuries. Like, obviously, it makes sense to just keep things the same from our perspective. But as I keep saying, I don't trust Poch. I know he'll overthink, and he might think, "Oh, should I put in Silva because of experience? Do I put in Nkunku and play the ace too early?" I don't really trust him. But if we play the same way we played against City, we play the same way we've played in all of our big games this season with the same intensity, I feel like we can beat you. The only problem is if it goes into extra time. Because even if Salah doesn't start, you guys having him off the bench to make an impact. Even if it's an extra time, those 30 minutes, Salah, he can get a goal or he can provide assist or be involved in the build-up. I think for us, we need to win it in 90 minutes. If it goes into extra time, I don't see how we win the game. But I just hope. I hope we win it. I hope we win it. I really do. We need this as a team. As bad as we've been this season, winning this can really potentially help kickstart something. With this team, with these players, with this ownership, we really need this win.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's a fair comment to make, mate. Jerry, like a lot has been made out that obviously Chelsea, I think it's 8 days rest between last game and the cup final, and obviously Liverpool had their game brought forward on Wednesday. And I've been thinking about this now. I actually don't. I actually think it benefits us playing midweek and having an 8-day rest because of the way Liverpool play. You know, we've seen it before when Liverpool apparently well rested, we lose our steam. We lose. You know, I think Liverpool under Klopp has always been one of them teams that Klopp don't like it. But I always think Liverpool are better when they just play, instead of train so much. What do you reckon, Jerry? Yeah, and it actually benefits us playing that midweek game.
I think it definitely does. I think you can look at it from two perspectives. Yes, you're right. Liverpool are a momentum team. So the more games we can go and play within a short space of time, we can kind of ride a momentum wave where we can go and win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row because there's just that momentum. There's that belief in the fan base. There's a belief in the players. I think it actually helped the young players as well because, and the kind of the players that don't necessarily start for Liverpool because with it for them, they're looking at it as like, okay, I've got my chance now to shine. I can now play 2-3 games back to back when it wasn't the case really beforehand because I could play one game and then not play for the next 2 games and only get maybe 15 minutes in 3 games because I'm coming on as a sub. So it does help. I think you can contrast that by the fact that we've got a lot of injuries and the rest means that the players that we're now using, so your Bradleys, your Endos, your McAllisters, your Diazes that are playing, Van Dijk, that are playing every single game within this period. They're not getting a break. They're having to play, I mean, a very, very big intensity or large intensity. And then every game now, especially in the Premier League, is a must-win game because drop points will feel like the title's over. You're now obviously in the Carabao Cup final and you really want to get your hands on that trophy for Klopp and for Liverpool just for it to bode well for the season. And then you've got the Europa League and you've got big games against City coming up. Having a break may have given us time to get certain players back, but also rest the players that have been in a hectic schedule. Van Dijk, when's the last time he missed a game? When's the last time McAllister missed a game? Like if something happens to them we're in a situation, and of course that's negative thinking, but these things can happen in football. So yeah, I think it's a positive thing from a footballing standpoint. From a health standpoint, you just never know because it could be that one game too many within a space of 2 weeks where, you know, someone just needs a break, needs a rest like Nunes did. And then we're in a situation where we've got big games coming up and we've got more players that are out injured. So it's an interesting way to look at it. But from a footballing standpoint, I agree. I think it's good that we can play games. And I think it's good for the second string players and obviously good for the team as well.
Yeah, with you. Look, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Score predictions, guys. Where we see this game winning. Chelsea lads, I'll let you go first on these score predictions. Where you see it going? Who's going to lift this cup Sunday evening?
So I'm going to say 2-1 with the ultimate shameless of a Conor Gallagher winner. No, I'll go 2-1 still in extra time, and I think I'll go Cole Palmer double. That's what I mean. And you know what? To wind people up, both pens. How about that? To wind people up.
Prime.
I'll stick with 2-1. Jackson and Sassy.
Interesting. K-Mac.
That'll wind our own fan base up if the Sassy scores pro.
Someone needs to be wound up. So yeah.
How you going with this, K-Mac? How do you see it?
3-1. I don't think we'll go behind. I think maybe they might equalise and then we go ahead. Chelsea really need this win as well because of financial fair play. There's a lot of stuff in the news about it. Getting into Europe might ease off the tax man. We need it because we need Calvin Harris DJing on the bus again. That's why we need it.
You don't get all that. No. It's, look, Jerry, where do you see this happening, man? What do you see?
Hear me out. I'm going to take my Liverpool hat off for this one.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Put it on the side. There you go.
3-1 Liverpool.
That's taking his hat off.
You didn't take it out. Yeah, you still got it.
Yeah.
You moved it to the
Literally
side.
came off.
Yeah.
No, it's down. It's down.
I thought you were going to say 4,
It's
Jerry.
around, yeah.
Yeah. No, 3-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool concede, but I just think I just think that obviously Liverpool in cup competitions were always dangerous. And it doesn't really matter who plays that. And that's when you go back to even Champions League final. You've got injuries. I mean, the team's not as good as Milan, and we can still find a way. Against Barcelona, we had injuries as well and suspensions. Salah didn't play. I mean, and we still managed to go and get over the line in that one. So I just think, yeah, 3-1. It doesn't mean it won't be a difficult game. I think it still will be. But I think, the game may be 1-1, or we might go ahead and then all of a sudden Chelsea chasing a game and you pick one off, especially on the counter. And because Wembley's so big, Liverpool on the transition, if we're at it, we're the best team in world football at transition in terms of how quickly we can go back to front, turn defense into attack, and then how quickly we can actually come back and defend as well, even though we are a bit, we're not solid defensively like a Mourinho Chelsea as an example. So I'm going 3-1.
This is the Bradley show, by the way. It's the Bradley show on Sunday.
Right.
Depends on how Sterling plays, to be fair. It depends on how Sterling plays.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Gomez plays right back and not Conor Bradley as well. But
oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I've got a feeling Conor Bradley might drop out. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think Robbo might play left back and Gomez might play right back for this game because of the big pitch. Gomez might play left back actually. I think Bradley coming off at 60 minutes. I think that's a banker for him to start. Yeah, I think that's true. Actually, that's true. I just feel like Gomez has to. I don't know.
If he does that switch again, Jerry, if he does that switch again where he brings Bradley into midfield, jeez.
No, that switch has to be technical because it can't be Bradley just comes in there. If you look at the Chelsea game, he actually was effective because he stayed out wide. It wasn't him coming inside. It was the fact that he stretched the pitch for us. Yeah. So if Bradley stretches I think Robbo starts purely because of the fact that we're going to go and try to keep our width and stay narrow out wide and allow Diaz to do what he did against Luton, where he comes very, very central and almost acts like a 2 up front with Gakpo.
Best position now.
And then have wide and the width with Bradley and Robbo means that in the middle we're still very compact, so we can still do our gegenpress and win the ball high. If we've got that inverted situation, we could be caught in a situation like Man City were, where that's exploited by Chelsea, because all that will happen is Cole Palmer won't play as a winger. He's just going to come inside that pocket, and if that happens, Gusto's going to have, or whoever plays right back is going to have loads of space to get in beyond. You're going to have Jackson moving over to that side. And then we start getting pulled all over the place because, if we don't have the ball, we're not in a shape to kind of control that. And we haven't got our best players to dominate midfield. We haven't got Trent. We haven't got Salah. We haven't got even Curtis Jones that helps us dominate the middle of the pitch. So I think if we can go out wide, we stretch Chelsea and there's more space for McAllister to find passes and that type of thing.
I agree. I think it's going to be this one. My scoreline is going to be a bit mental. I actually think it's going to be 2-2 after 90 minutes.
Oh, you're going to penalties.
Oh, you're going to penalties.
I'm not going to penalties. Don't you worry about that.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2-2 after 90 minutes, and then Wataru Endo gets the winner in extra time.
I thought you were going to say Gomez.
No, Gomez is getting that winner. Gomez is getting that Premier League winning goal winner. You remember Vinny Company a few years back when he got that goal for Man City?
Yeah.
When it was against Leicester. And it basically won Man City the league.
40 yarder.
Jamie,
he's going to hit a 40 yarder.
Jamie, do you think you're starting? They're saying you're McAllister. No, they're saying you're starting. They're saying everyone. The chat's saying that you're McAllister. You just come to do a stream. You're getting back to train.
That. I don't know what it is. I'm looking like McAllister. I look more like his dad. You know what I mean? But
His
no,
fourth
yeah,
brother.
yeah. Endo will get. I just got his feeling. Taro Endo, I think, is Liverpool's most important midfielder right now because he gives balance to Liverpool's midfield in that position, and it allows McAllister, who's been excellent the last 2 games, because he plays a bit more advanced. Yeah, I love the guy as well, but I think it's going to be quite an open game because of the sides of the pitch. Chelsea have got 2 quick. They have 2 quick wingers, and Palmer's going to be playing that false 9 role, so he's going to be a threat. And then Liverpool are going to be a threat at the other end. And I agree. I actually think Robbo and Conor Bradley are going to play really wide. I think Robbo's going to be playing his old-fashioned left-back role where he keeps the width, and the forward line are going to play quite narrow. And if you get Luis Diaz in the box, he's a threat. He's more of a threat inside the box than he is in his natural left wing position for me now. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a really exciting game. Really exciting game. Obviously, as Liverpool fans, we've got to predict Liverpool winning. Chelsea fans predicting Chelsea winning. But it's going to be a great game, guys. It's going to be a great game, no doubt about it. I'll see that, Jerry. Right, guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for everyone coming in. Guys, let everyone know where they can find you and your socials and your channels and all that. K-Mac, let everyone know where you are, man.
You can check me out on K-Mac channel. I'm mostly doing shows with a lot of other content providers, but I will be doing a show after the final.
There you go. Jerry, let the world know, man.
Find me on. Sorry, it's my mic. I keep pressing the mic. Yeah. Find me on the Jerry James Show, on X, on Twitter, on Instagram, YouTube as well. Got my preview coming out at 9 p.m. as well, so we'll be going live at 9. So looking forward to that one.
We're going at 9 o'clock, guys. Prime, where can I find you, man? And thank you very much for joining me, man. Appreciate it.
No worries. Adamus Prime on X, Instagram, TikTok. I'm also on Sarcasm City Surfer a lot as well. So you can catch me there. But yeah, thanks Jamie for having me on. I would say best of luck for Liverpool, but I don't want you guys winning anything. Not best. Not best.
Fine, man. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Witness yourself a big up, man. Thank you very much for joining me as well, man. Debut on the channel. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite. Follow me in Winter Surfer on. I'm not going to call it X. I call it Twitter. I refuse to call it X. I just call it Twitter.
It sounds weird. X sounds weird, doesn't it? It sounds like something else.
It's just, I can't say. I'm about to go on a gal's channel in the next few minutes with the weekend preview, and then I'm part of Casually FC, which Prime is also on as well. We're doing a preview of the game. I think we're going to have a Sam on there and a couple of another Liverpool fan as well, just to go through. And like Prime says, I'm usually on Sarcasm City and now Sarcasm City TV Gaming, where we are trying to, we're doing pro clubs and a lot of GTA stuff. So I usually tweet out what I'm doing anyway, or if I'm watching other streams, I tweet those out as well. So yeah, just follow me there.
Fantastic. So guys, you know what I'm going to do. Go and follow everyone here, guys. I'd really appreciate it. I'll be back straight after the game on Sunday, guys. So watch out for that. When this video ends, guys, you'll go straight to Monty's channel. You go and raid Monty's channel. So go over there and say Jamie sent you. Go and raid Monty's channel. I'd appreciate it. And then make sure you tune in to Jerry at 9 p.m. tonight. So guys, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.